Well, right now, the PM, Rishi Sunak, is meeting with MPs on the 1922 committee in the House of Commons. I've been with him, watching as he went in there. Didn't speak to reporters for a long period as he waited to go in. About 2 or 3 minutes of everyone waiting in silence because he knows this meeting with his MPs is really, really important. As we come on air right now, Suella Braverman, the former Home Secretary, who gave a resignation, or I should say a personal statement speech today in the Commons, says that this new Rwanda plan, published about an hour ago from the government, doesn't come close to meeting Suella's tests, as a source close to her. The source carries on, the PM has kept the ability for every illegal migrant to make individual human rights claims against their removal and to then appeal against those claims if they don't succeed. It is fatally flawed, Suella Braverman's friend says. It will be bogged down in the courts for months. It won't stop the boats. The crucial part, Suella Braverman says that the PM, Rishi Sunak's Rwanda treaty, just published out moments ago, won't stop the boats, says Braverman. She adds, it's a further betrayal of Tory voters and the decent, patriotic majority who want to see this insanity brought to an end. So there was real rumours tonight. No one's resigned yet, Martin. I know we were looking at that earlier. There are rumours that the Immigration Minister, Robert Jenrick, is teetering or wobbling about resigning. No word yet from him on his future. But it's a really, really important meeting happening right now between the Prime Minister, Mr Sunak, and his backbenchers to try and convince them that this is the action he's promised. Enough words, he knows that. He's talked for a long time about the frustration about small boats crossing not being dealt with. This is the action he has promised MPs. But already, Suella Braverman is saying it's not good enough and it won't stop the boats. The government will say to us the ambition is to see the first flights taking off with people who arrived here illegally by boat to Rwanda to be processed. But the word at the moment is not clear, and some ministers are on resignation watch. Back to you in the studio.
Chris, this is absolute bedlam. This is basically Suella Braverman reiterating her concerns, now verified, having looked at the actual bill in question. Quite clearly, she believes it does not muster up to passing British sovereignty. It does not muster up to British law being supreme. It still leaves this plan very much at the mercy of the European Court of Human Rights and the Lords and the lawyers and everybody else and the 1922 committee. This is now an open, huge revolt in the party, Chris.
Well, it's not yet. There's only one remark from Suella Braverman. According to people who have read the detail of this and are lawyers, they're saying that the problem that Mr Jenrick might have with it, again, speculation, but the problem critics might have with this document is that Section 4 means that it may be possible to use particular individual circumstances to fight a deportation. And if that's the case, we're back to square one. We are not going to be seeing these flights taking off. I know I often say on your programme, we've got a pint of beer resting on the counter, this bet between me and PM Rishi Sunak. That pint of beer looks safer now than it did before this bill was published, possibly.
Crazy stuff, crazy stuff. And she talked very openly about the insanities of international human rights laws in her resignation speech, Chris. Foreign terrorists we can't deport because of their human rights. Terrorists we have to let back in because of their human rights. Foreign rapists and paedophiles who should have been removed but are released back into our communities and they reoffend because of their human rights. Astonishing stuff, Chris. Thank you for that breaking news line. We'll come back to you, of course, later in the show.